So recently, there's been a lot of conversation about the performance of domestic labor that is literally exploding on TikTok right now. And personally, I love some of the content, but I can also acknowledge that some of the critiques about it are valid. Much of the content is definitely performative, some of it is unrealistic, and a lot of it is glamour. And by the way, I just released a video about various forms of glamour and the strategy behind them, and that is available for YouTube members and patrons on Patreon. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. The links are in the description box. But I am under no illusions about this kind of content. I know a lot of it is curated to look perfect or appear easier and quicker than it actually is, but I still watch it and I still enjoy it for what it is. I know it's a performance, I know it's glamour, and I don't internalize it, so it doesn't bother me. And personally, I don't think it's realistic to expect these content creators to say in every single video that making content is their job and that what they're doing is a performance, or constantly clarifying in their videos that they don't do what they're doing every single day, so it makes people feel better about what they're not doing in their lives. I don't think it's realistic for them to always say in every single video that what they're doing, most people don't have the time to do. I mean, to me, that is pretty obvious. But I will acknowledge that there are younger people out there that are more impressionable and maybe will watch their content and feel like they are lacking in some way. So for those who need to hear it, you are still good enough if you can't get up at 4 a.m. and make breakfast from scratch for your children and your husband while being 6 months pregnant. You're still good enough if you're not with a rich man or can't afford luxury handbags or don't iron your sheets after washing them or put every product you buy in a separate container and organize them perfectly in your cabinets. It's okay that you do not do that. I don't do that either. Honestly, I can't relate to all of this content, and most of the creators have way more money than me, but none of their content makes me feel like I'm not good enough. So my advice to the young women, especially who feel bad after watching this content, try to refrain from watching it until you can stop internalizing it. Because what I find to be interesting is that we're in a time now where people resent a whole bunch of content online. They're highly critical of it, but they're still drawn to it. And that is the case with glamour. They complain about the content, but they still flock to it. And they drive themselves crazy watching it and heavily engaging with it, which makes it more popular. It's really counterproductive what a lot of y'all are doing, because often when I watch these videos, because they're all up in my algorithm, because honey, I love this kind of content, but I'll watch the videos and then I'll look in the comments and they're almost always in shambles. And sometimes the comments are funny and lighthearted, but a ton of them are either very negative, mean, or sarcastic. And it makes you wonder why so many people are watching the content if they don't like it or find it to be problematic. And I'm doing this video because over the years, I have observed this behavior repeatedly. This happens to women a lot, and especially Black women who make content that is traditionally feminine or luxurious. We're constantly being told that traditional femininity is bad, Black women in luxury is bad, hypergamy is bad, but both genders literally flock to the kind of women that represent all of those things. They flock to the housewives like Nara Smith. They flock to the Black women in luxury like Jackie Aina. They flock to the organization videos from people like Operation Nikki that they say is highly unrealistic and unobtainable. And I love the content from all of the ladies I just mentioned, by the way. But these women have millions of female followers and fans, but some of those same women who follow them and want to be like them will tell you as a woman, especially if you are Black, to not attempt to do some of what they're doing to be successful because it won't work. And you have to ask yourself, ladies, why people are telling you something that isn't true. You have to ask, what is the agenda? When people see images of glamorous women, especially if they are Black, or luxury homes, luxury products, luxury cars, vacations, it triggers their own desires for those things. And there are different reactions depending on the kind of person you're dealing with. They'll either strive to get what you have, they'll hate on you for having it, or get upset because they feel like you're too Black to deserve it, but they keep watching because deep down they want what you have. And that is why, even as people complain about how unrealistic glamour is, they are still obsessed with it. People love the facade of perfection. They secretly love unrelatability, and they are never going to flock to people they find to be too relatable because that is not as interesting to look at. That is just the truth of the matter. So my advice to the ladies is, if you want more attention and you want to enhance your appeal, don't listen to people who tell you that improving yourself won't work. Don't listen to people who say that being feminine will not benefit you or dating hypergamously isn't beneficial. Because deep down, they know it is, and most of them want the same things you want, and they are drawn to it and would jump at the opportunity to have it. See, you can't go off of what people say. You have to look at their actions. Because people will lie to you and tell you something won't work to keep you on their level or below. Men will tell you that women look better natural with no makeup. Meanwhile, they're most attracted to women with fake body parts and women who wear a face full of makeup and put a lot of effort into their appearance. Other women will tell you that big is beautiful and being fat is okay. And after they say that, they're going to go back to counting their calories and working out every day to stay at an average weight. They'll tell you to de-center men, and meanwhile, they center their man in everything they do. They'll write a million think pieces about unrealistic beauty standards, conspicuous consumption, conspicuous leisure. Yet those are the same people who watch the content, attempt to emulate it, and be that in their everyday lives. These same people will tell you that Black women in luxury is elitist, but they flock to biracial women in luxury and their content. I have to say it, but I see a lot of Black women defending Nara Smith. I see y'all going hard in the paint on TikTok for her against those white woman feminists, saying how they don't like to see Black or biracial women having nice things. And I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. And I don't have a problem with Black women defending Nara per se, but I just wish we would give unambiguous Black women who represent what she does the same support. Black women were some of the loudest people condemning the Black femininity movement, soft life, Black women in luxury, saying how unrealistic and unobtainable all of that was for most Black women. But when it comes to Nara, somehow she's relatable when she represents everything those movements stood for or stand for. With Nara, the overwhelming consensus from Black women is, oh, those white women are mad because they don't like seeing Black women have nice things. And it's like, wait, you were saying the same thing that white women were saying to Black women, but about Black women in luxury and soft life and femininity. I thought this imagery was unrealistic and therefore shouldn't be promoted. But of course, we know why Black women take a different stance with Nara. It's largely because of our deeply internalized colorism. Nara is biracial, so Black women live vicariously through biracial women. And we're more accepting seeing women like her being traditionally feminine and doing conspicuous leisure and living in luxury. We're more comfortable seeing her in that space than we are seeing women who look like us. And I've said this in all my videos about Black women in luxury, and y'all got mad, but the support Nara has from Black women right now is proof that what I said is correct. And I know that most of you defending Nara against white women, I think you're trying to defend Black women as a whole against racism, but it is totally counterproductive to support biracial women like Nara and simultaneously disparage actual Black women who represent the very same thing that she does. Black women, if she deserves your support, then so do unambiguous Black women who are in her same lane. The way Black women continue to undermine themselves in this way is embarrassing, and I just had to say something. But my overall point here is that both genders are either intentionally or subconsciously giving you the kind of advice that will keep you at their level or below, or at the bottom where they think Black women belong. These people are full of it, y'all, and they're actually using their own form of glamour to manipulate you so that you won't surpass them or become their competition or attract someone they are competing with you to attract. That is all this is about, and y'all need to recognize the game for what it is. If the conspicuous consumption or conspicuous leisure these content creators are engaging in is so bad, then people wouldn't be obsessed with them. If the people who don't like them actually stopped watching, they would literally have less incentive to keep making content. Nothing is going to change if y'all keep watching the content that you claim is so problematic. And as long as this type of content keeps getting the massive number of views that it's getting, people are going to keep making it. Y'all just complaining about it but still watching it is not going to get you the results that you want. The only way to make it go away is to stop watching and focus on content that you actually find relatable. But of course, most people won't do that because they don't actually like the content that's relatable. They prefer looking at and complaining about people who have more than they do and show it online. That is just the truth. Just like they prefer feminine women, women with standards, glamorous women, women who aren't fat, and everything they tell you that you shouldn't strive to be. They're lying to you, ladies, and they're especially lying to Black women. So I know this isn't a popular take on this subject, but I guarantee it's the realest one. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you in the next video.